All right, Matt.
Good morning, Nicholas. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. Happy Friday.
Yeah, Friday the 19th. Hello, Lena. Nice to see you.
Hi, happy to be here.
Lena, summer ends this weekend. And the last time you were here, you were talking about your tomato garden. People are waiting on by bated breath. How did your tomatoes grow this summer?
So I know everyone is at the edge of their seat waiting about my tomatoes. So I actually had gone on a pretty long vacation, worked remote for a little bit. I had yielded 3 tomatoes before I left, and my plant died a slow, probably and painful death. I'm sorry to that tomato plant. I don't necessarily have a green thumb. It's like probably not. It's not for me. I should stick to marketing and less planting. Is my hypothesis there, but summer will be missed.
There's a reason farmers don't go on vacation in the middle of the summer.
Yeah.
Right?
I think you need to stay on top of that kind of thing.
And to get an almanac or something,
And tell me something. How many tomato plants you got? Like, at least you had more than one?
2. No, this is a small garden. It's a smaller garden. So 2 of the individual vines that travel up. So they traveled up, and I'm trying to revive one right now.
That's a 1.5 yield. That's
Well, the average. One of them just never actually yielded any. It just never made it that far. So you win some, you lose your tomatoes. But it was a good time.
All right. Well, on that note, let's get started.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. This is Nico with eStreamly, the company that gets you live stream and video commerce on your site, social media, email, SMS, wherever you are. The video is shoppable, and I'm here with my great friend Matt from E6 Marketing, the company that gets you on QVC and HSN, and also with Lena Moriarty, the head of marketing at eTail, the trade shows that get you ready for the year and for everything engagement around e-com. Such an amazing show. And we are obviously here to talk about video commerce, live stream shopping, and all those stuff. We are not farmers and not going to be talking about farms and tomato for today. But before we go there, Matt, why don't you give us a quick snapshot of what the show is about?
Thank you, Nicholas, and thank you, Lena. Welcome. This is the VCommerce podcast. We're here every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern. What is video commerce? It's the live selling app, live selling dynamic that started with direct response television, DRTV, graduated into QVC and HSN and other live selling channels through your television. But now video commerce can be found everywhere through your internet, through your websites, through your e-com space, through your apps. So we talk about 3 or 4 of the hot topics of the week every week. This on Fridays at 11 a.m. Eastern. And shockingly, and I know you both are shocked, but our lead story this week is about TikTok.
No.
And we do talk about TikTok quite a bit. This could be a TikTok sponsored show, although of course it's not. But this is legit. Like, this is not just an app enhancement. This is big news. We've been talking about what would happen for the last 2 years, I guess. Will TikTok sell, and will ByteDance get rid of it in the U.S.? Supposedly, or at least reportedly, a deal is in the works. China has let ByteDance license the TikTok Shop algorithm, recommended algorithm, to a new U.S. entity. Wow. So now in this new, if this is all true, and we're reading this this week, and things are moving and shaking, but there's a U.S. conglomerate led by Silver Lake, Oracle, and Anderson Horowitz that will combine with ByteDance and an already established group of companies that will all technically lead TikTok into the future. So the board hasn't been announced yet. The discipline hasn't been announced exactly of where this algorithm will live. But this is the news coming out this week. So my question to you, Nicholas, first is, are you surprised that this has happened? And what does this mean for the U.S. TikTok customer base?
Yeah. So, I mean, am I surprised it happened? I think we that was expected somehow, that there will be at some point a solution to the problem, right? I it, the only thing I don't know is like, is it like fully acted? Like, are people? I mean, like, is it being signed and everything, or is it contentious to some other deal that they need to do with China or anything? I mean, that's kind of like the question. Also, the other question is like, well, there's a big winner in this story, right? It's A.D. Larison, I think that's his name, right? The owner of Oracle, who saw his stock pop up like 30+% last week already on an AI talk, and there you go. Now he's going to be the not only the AI winner but also the TikTok winner. So, congrats to him. You know, that's pretty amazing to be
double
be in
whammy.
that position. But yeah, but ultimately, Oracle was already on the list when they were talking about the sale. You know, before Trump and before this whole thing, right? Because Oracle, they were pairing, I think, with Walmart when they're the one that made the offer initially, saying, "Hey, we can host some of that product." TikTok had mentioned that they could relocate all their data and everything in Oracle somewhere in Dallas already. So that relationship was already established. I think what surprised me the most in the story is that they sell without really selling, because at the end, Biden still remained 20% owner of the thing. So yes, they are a minority owner, but they still own 20% of the TikTok, which I thought that was interesting. I did not anticipate that. I thought it would be like a complete severance from the mothership, but hey, 20% is certainly satisfactory, I guess, from a safety and security standpoint and all the stuff that people are talking about. But yeah, I think I'm just wondering, is it really the end, or is just like another hoop that we have to go until the final act of signing the whole deal through China? Because don't CCP has to approve it? I don't know what you think, Lena.
So I think that there's a couple of different good points in here. I think that it's definitely interesting about ByteDance remaining 20% owner. You know, that's definitely a big one. But on top of that, I had read about the possibility of having to download an additional app to then switch over your TikTok kind of information. So I think that within that, Oracle would then be the main controller of TikTok, of kind of all the app data, which is ultimately the big question mark here. Who's going to own the data? Who's going to get the data? Everyone wants their hands on this piece of data. That's like the bidding wars kind of thing as well. So, and the money behind all the ads and such. But I think that I'm interested to see how it goes. I think it's another blip. I don't think it's fully going to be away from ByteDance.
Yeah. So you think they're gonna split the app? I don't remember. I didn't follow that part. Like they're gonna create like a TikTok US app or something?
I'm not sure. Like that's what I was actually not completely understanding. It's also hypothetical. I was almost right. It's all in hypothetical. Like possibly if we go this way, then maybe we'll have everyone download a new app. Which I don't see everyone doing just so willingly.
Because I remember like one of the counter argument of like the TikTok split and everything was talking about is like, well, if they separate the app, then how is the non-US population going to respond to it that are living in the US, right? Or all the people that love to speak Spanish and watch Spanish content. Like I'm French, I watch some French content. I'm not on TikTok, but you know, like on other platforms. And this content is not made here in the US. So I think, you know, like the crossover content could be quite interesting to see how they're going to plan this out. Like if they separate the app, what does it mean? Because all of a sudden, all of a sudden, like you could be in the middle of Malaysia creating content that people love, and now here you go, you monetize it by someone watching it in the US. Will that still happen?
Well, there's two sides, as Lena referenced. It's the algorithm and the data. So the algorithm is what drives TikTok Shop. It's what drives views. The algorithm is the magic sauce, but the customer data is a whole different thing. So there's two sides of what we're talking about here with these companies getting involved, these new U.S. companies getting involved. What will they own? What will they use? What will they, what are they clamoring over? Where do they see the value of owning 50% of this? Is it one side or the other, or is there another part of this that they're interested in?
But the thing with the data, Matt, is like if you separate the app in two, right? All of a sudden, your data become less and less valuable because if you, Matt, has a certain behavior, and there is more chance to find more people that have the same behavior than you by looking at 2 billion people than looking at 330 million people, which is the US population. So, you know what I'm saying? Like the algorithm need the mass to be super hyper performant. Will you be able to generate that without the, that's kind of where like the algorithm can only be good as much as data he has. So that I think the point that Lina is making, like, are we talking two app or one app, is probably a crucial piece and element on this whole conversation.
I just gave it a quick double check just to make sure that we're speaking in turn because I brought it up. But yes, they are planning on potentially splitting it in two so that it is US controlled data and algorithm. They're saying US can control both of them. So that, what the heck's gonna happen there? I don't know.
Yeah, and that was the whole argument in the beginning. We didn't want a foreign country to own all of our personal data.
Exactly.
So I mean, it's great. I'm happy that it's moving forward. To your point, Lena, this is far from over. There's not even a board named yet. There's no decision makers in this whole thing yet, and it's not final. So
maybe
I think it's another step to your point, Nicholas.
Like we talk so much about TikTok, we should be asking if they want us to be on the board.
About it.
Volunteer.
Yeah. We're very, very smart people.
Nicholas, you brought up something, another story from YouTube that I thought that grabbed my attention. As you know, I'm a big YouTube guy.
Yes, you are, Matt, indeed. And so the story about YouTube is that YouTube will enable you to incorporate dynamic ads. And so what does it mean as a creator? It means that per the past, if you had a deal with like Givenchy or whoever, you probably will have to produce the copy of that video. So you take the ad and then maybe you do a B-roll, and on that B-roll, that's where you had the ad. And so a lot of those videos, especially the older one, you will see that the creator has had some spot in it, and those products are relatively old, and as a result, you typically get a commission or like a pay upfront for having that video piece added to your content, and then that's it. Like that video lives, be staying there forever, whatever. What YouTube is doing is they are leveraging the technology that they have themselves to add that at the beginning, right? At the pre-roll, I think that's how you call it, right, Matt? Maybe tell me if I'm wrong. Yeah. But that kind of technology where they can dynamically serve ad. And so what they're doing is like they're giving that as an opportunity for creator to now, instead of at their level, at their channel, outproducing, I would say, the ad within there and embedded into their content, being able to create those snippets and then just put dynamically those snippets at the different places in their content. And so now a content that you produce today, 6 years from now, if you're signing a deal and that content still be watched, maybe now you can push actually content at that specific moment that is relevant on that piece of content that you created 6 years ago. And I think it's kind of interesting because it's really an interesting tool for creators that are creating brand partnership to make sure that their content is always relevant. And so I think it's a great opportunity for creator to monetize further their content, honestly.
Lena, does this put the power back into the creator's hands, or do they ever even lose it when it comes to this?
I think it just continues to show the upward trajectory of the creator economy. And that if you're not completely invested and bullish on the creator economy, you are already behind, because we are fully giving power back to the creators in the creators' hands. And it also kind of, I hate to say it, but I think it catches YouTube up to speed a little bit with some of the other social media apps where it's a little bit behind, more focused on the long form content, and it brings it into the short form dynamics as well.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Lena, you mentioned one of your favorite shows, and you mentioned a new term in our pre-prep meeting, TikTokification?
TikTokification. Yes. I was going to say, like, show a little emoji or something in the chat if you watch Dancing with the Stars this week, please. I know that there must be someone here that did. I love Robert Irwin. I saw him and his dance. It was great. No, but I want to talk about the TikTokification of Dancing with the Stars and this huge kind of pivot towards social media marketing to further the views, increase views for live TV. It is really crazy, and no one is doing it better than Dancing with the Stars. I think that this show has been around for over 20 something years, like 20 years, and it originally started as like a big show during the time of American Idol, all of that jazz, making a big splash, and then as it does, falls off, but it didn't get canceled, and now you see them incorporating Alex Earl, the #1 TikTok star, Miss TikTok herself. We have all of these, Dylan Efron, Zac Efron's brother, but not just that. On screen, they're actually putting everyone's TikTok handle, showing it and asking you to follow along. And I think behind the scenes that in these Dancing with the Stars contracts, yeah, there we go. I think in these Dancing with the Stars contracts that they're putting that they need to create social media content to be on the show. Oh, those are the two other ones, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, women who make TikToks every day, multiple times a day. So it's very entertaining. And I think that it's caused a huge, huge resurgence of the show. Everyone's posting about it. Everyone's getting involved. Everyone's commenting, picking their best dances, picking their order of who's going to win. And it's just super fun. Did you guys get a chance to see it all?
Yeah, I didn't. I'm not into the Dancing with the Stars. I have to be honest with you, but I am interested in this story. And Lena, I told you what I read this week about Saturday Night Live, kind of doing the same thing. Like they just disabled their cast. They fired half their cast members, very shockingly for people that follow the show, and they're bringing in these TikTok and social media influencers as talent. There's a whole other level of comedians that entertain solely on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. And
yes,
they're trying to. I mean, I call Saturday Night Live and Dancing with the Stars and traditional television mainstream. Your grandmother or your older TV viewer that's been watching TikTok or watching Dancing with the Stars for 20 plus years, they might not know these TikTok influencers, but they will now. So now this brings them right into the mainstream of traditional media. I think it's very, very interesting to follow.
It really is. It's definitely entertaining. And to actually take a explicit pivot towards investing in more TikTok stars is a very explicit move. And I think it's very intentional, and it's for a reason. It's to engage new audiences. It's to get new faces involved in new forms of TV that they might not have been invested in before. And it's working. Saturday Night Live, I'm not sure about Saturday Night Live. Dancing with the Stars viewership is 100%, not 100% up, but it's definitely increased according to like the recent reports that they've been putting out. And, I've been following along some of these TikTok stars, and they're getting 2 million, 5 million likes on some views on some of their videos, which is, incredible.
But if you think of it, like, do they really have a choice? Because where is the audience today, right? It's on social, and people are unplugging the cable, and there's so many fast channel out there that there's never been so much content that you could just go on a rabbit hole and watch like content. And so ultimately they gotta find a way to relatively inexpensively, right? Because it always has a cost, but bring back mass audience. And if that takes to being able to create clips that people resonate with on social media after, and it's also it made me think about what Instagram just released this week, where it's basically the ability for creator to create stories on their part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, right? And so if you remember, Matt, Walmart had done a whole rom-com where instead of doing like a movie, they did 23 short clip of 3 minutes as the different parts, and then you can navigate through that. And we know that more and more people are doing this, and that's how they consume content on social. Creators are doing it. And maybe the whole idea of those, the whole new play for TV is to create those snippet moments into a full recording, but having those moments that are the adrenaline is so high that they know that's going to be the clip that they're going to cut. And hopefully with all those new technology, people are going to watch not one clip, but they're going to watch 10, 15 clips of the show. And then some of them hopefully will transfer to TV. But just watching the clip is enough because they will still earn revenue on the ad that generates anyway. So I think
what crossed my attention, like, your boy Nicholas, Mr. Beast. Like, if Mr. Beast starts hosting Saturday Night Live, or Mr. Beast goes on Dancing with the Stars, or one of these other shows, and that works, then that's to me, or anybody like at that level of social media dominance, then to me it's like okay, this is a proven winner. But if it doesn't, because didn't he have a show that didn't kind of take off this past year? Like, they tried to get him on mainstream. He had some kind of a game show, right?
Yeah.
So earlier this year.
Yeah, so I think he had the show on Netflix, right? And the idea was to take actually the what's the game that he had? Like, you remember that show?
It's his game.
Yeah, and
right?
So he was like,
so he put it on Netflix, thinking that they would get a larger audience, right? That's the whole idea.
Yeah, and it did not work as planned. At least that's what people are saying.
Yeah,
right.
But also I think the challenge is that why are we thinking that Mr. Beast would be a great person to do a Saturday Night Live show? I mean, this is very much a 2000 way of thinking. We're in 2025 and people are consuming content in a very different way, and they like, and Mr. Beast is really responding to how people consume content today. Why do we need to package him and say, hey, I don't know.
I think that's kind of the big question now with the entire marketing funnel, because do you count these viewers, these loyal fans that are watching, 10, 15 of these small clips that are considered top of funnel content, super top, not bottom, not a 30-minute YouTube? Are you considering them your valued loyal customers? Or that's why it's like, is the funnel dead? Where do we lie?
Yeah, but again, if there's something that that has Mr. Beast has proven is like, all you need to do is one video or one tweet to say, hey, the Feastable on Walmart, Walmart is not going through the contract, and no one can see my Feastable. They're all like, and then you've got thousands of loyal fans reorganizing the store so the Feastable are beautiful and everyone can see them on the store. And like, Walmart had to call and say, hey, calm down. And he has to send a message that, well, actually, calm down, everyone. But like, I mean, at the end of the day, what do people want on the marketing? Do you want to have like a beautiful funnel where you can actually name and label, or do you want to be able to say, do this and that happen?
It's a great question. It's a great question. But to your point, Lena, like Dancing with the Stars is reinvented. They kind of reinvented their history and their 20 years of dominance. I would say in mainstream television as a competition show. Saturday Night Live's getting into it too, which is 40 years old as a show, and now they're getting into the YouTube influencers as their every week talent. It's a shift. It's a shift in entertainment that is, as probably to your point, Nicholas, has just begun. And who's it going to benefit? Who needs who? It's going to be fun to follow, to see where this goes.
Very good, very good, very good. Matt, any plan for the weekend? Or I know I know Lena has to tell something about the wonderful ETEL West coming up soon. You'll be there?
Yes. I just want to invite everyone listening, as well as, Nico and Matt, to obviously come on down to ETEL Palm Springs. It's February 23rd, 2026. I just want everyone to have plenty of time to mark your calendar, ask your bosses, book your hotel rooms, and get ready to have fun to kind of kick off the full event season of the year. It's the first kickoff of the retail e-commerce trade show series. And I think
is it going to be at the same hotel?
It's at the JW Marriott Palm Springs. Beautiful,
the JW
sunny
Marriott Palm
backdrop. Nothing better. So,
Yeah,
but in
wow.
the meantime, definitely stay connected. We have on this podcast, we have our e-tail insights reports too. So I'll be sure to keep in touch with everyone.
And there will be the evening event where people will be. I remember like the last year, the evening event was pretty amazing. It was like right by the outside, and then there are like a bit of music, and then a lot of food, and
we got
people were enjoying their life, talking to each other. It was so chill, and it was outside, so the weather was just beautiful, perfect. And I remember like we were not packed into a room where it was noisy and everything, and I just love to be outside and chat e-com and everything with everyone. Exactly. That was amazing.
I like to say we take the work out of networking, make it easy for everyone.
That was
being in Palm Springs in late February, coming from the Northeast, that's pretty appealing to me.
Exactly. Exactly. So I'll see you there. I'll see everyone there.
Amazing. Well, Matt, it was a great episode again. When you ready for the weekend?
No, yes. I think this is an in-between weekend. I told you about the college football a string of events that I'm going to. I was at a big college football game last week, and I'm going to another big game the following week. Not tomorrow, but next Saturday. So this weekend is kind of getting my bearings back, get caught up on some work that I missed last weekend. But the weather's supposed to be gorgeous. I'm loving this weather. Anytime the windows are open and the doors are open and natural air is coming in, I'm all about that. So I'm looking forward to this weekend.
And I didn't know you were a golf player. I see you were.
I am a golfer. I was just saying to a friend of mine, I haven't been out enough. I've been working too much this spring and summer. I'm going to forget 2025 as far as my golf game. It'll get reinvented in 2026.
Yeah, 2026, you're back.
Okay, so hopefully you get to grow your handicap in 2026.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, everyone. We will see you again next Friday. We're on LinkedIn, YouTube, and also on the Live E-commerce podcast. You can check out. We got some cool episode and review. And actually, we're going to have a really awesome guest coming up very soon. Someone that is 100% generating their revenue for live shopping all their life for the last 4 years, 5 years, 4 or 5 years. Amazing story. A store within a building, the 4th floor of a very weird room over there, and it's a real store but just for live streaming. I won't tell you more about this, but it's going to be a really cool episode. Tune in and don't miss out. All right, bye.
Thank you.